What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about NIO. Give you a quick overview of what drove it higher, what shorts did, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO did go up 5.62%, 501 the low, 535 the high, and around 67.8 million for volume, 81.3 is the average. You did see a lot of activity during the beginning part, so a lot of buying and selling coming from large entities, and then algorithmic trading kind of took over right here. And you can very clearly see the difference between the two. So these are all the transactions on a side note on the secondary market above $100,000. So you see some buying pretty much in the pre-market and leading up to market open, some selling, and then once again some buying. But like I said, the latest transaction was 935. So all of this for the most part was kind of just correlated to here. So let me know your thoughts on that. No actual news associated to NIO itself, no SEC filings, but as I've been stating over the last couple of videos, one of two things could really propel NIO higher, and not just NIO, but Chinese just stocks in general, and that is stimulus. So there's a couple articles that did come out, one of which is saying that during the election, there's going to be a very big update coming, so roughly around 2 weeks from now. As well, this did come out and was kind of announced early part of the day, and that is where the People's Bank of China injected roughly around $98.3 billion into the banking system. So very good stuff. So that's kind of point number one. Point number two, a lot of articles are already bringing that up, and that is ultimately right over here. So things to watch for next week, and that is right here. So Friday, November the 1st, where NIO, Li, Xpeng is going to be unveiling their numbers, right? Delivery numbers. And based on expectations and everything that's been coming out, it is fair to assume it's going to be kick-ass. So this is going to be a good catalyst coming out on Friday. So most likely the Thursday and possibly the Wednesday, the day prior, you're going to see some FOMO, some buying coming from entities, because this will be a very big catalyst. So yeah, I think in general, things are all coming together momentarily. So because of today's nice green day, it did really propel NIO higher on a technical stance. So it was able to fight above this 200-day moving average. Not really enough to get above that 50, but it did bounce off of that. So that's going to be clearly the next big target for next week. $5.30 is that 50-day moving average on a side note. So right now, because of that boost higher, it is above the ALMA. Still super trend, not all that great, but looking at stochastic RSI, it is very oversold, and you're starting to see as of today a nice bullish deviation, so blue line above the orange. So essentially you could see a continuation of entities really coming towards NIO and maybe buying it up as a value play possibly, but once it does get over that 50-day moving average, this is where in theory, based on the technicals at least, it could really propel it higher. So maybe come Friday, that's might come to fruition. No new analyst ratings, nothing along those lines, so I'll save you some time based on that. When NIO unveils their numbers, maybe you might see some catalysts or some, I guess, analyst ratings. But quickly going over here, shorts did return around 540,000 shares. So of course, by them returning, as buying pressure, propelling NIO once again even higher. So you could even see based on the teal line right over here, you see a very big dump right here. So they were increasing slightly first thing, and then yeah, they all just kind of just dumped it, cut their losses for the most part. So that did add a lot of buying pressure throughout the day, but 14.37% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 191.88 million shares. Cost of borrow average is 3.34. Utilization is 91.23. Moving over to options, 3.4 million in calls, 1.5 in puts. So kind of low dollar value getting in options, especially comparing it to common stock, but still 50% of all the options being done today were optimistic and bullish. And of the call options that were purchased today, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 650, recovering by November the 8th. So something maybe to kind of consider. Maybe that is correlated as well with the timeliness of maybe China unveiling something regarding their stimulus, something to keep in mind. But looking at puts though, you see a consensus during that same time period for it to be sub 450. So kind of have both opposite spectrums in regards to that. But no matter what though, options activity is just merely a sentiment. It does not move the stock price. So just kind of be aware of that. But aside from that though, with it at $5.26, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So 505 will be a strong support. 548 is going to be that next strong resistance / target, and in between there you have that 530, so that is going to be that 50-day moving average. On a side note, quickly going over here just to give you an overview, over the last couple days though, you have seen retail starting to get back in, and that is based on the momentum indicator. So big money is somewhat buying more today based on what it, especially comparing it to the last several trading days. So that's kind of a good thing. And retail has been buying. So you don't really see them buying at the same time. So maybe that's a positive thing, negative thing. You guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on NIO. Did you buy NIO, or did you buy over the last several trading days? Did you sell? And have you been dabbling with options? As I've stated in the past, any volatile stock such as NIO, I highly recommend you guys learning options, whether it just be buying calls, selling, or whatever else. And I've kind of stated this in the past, but if there's a stock that you really do like, such as NIO, you can always sell puts. So by selling a put, essentially, if you were going to buy NIO anyways, let's say at $5, if you sell a put, if it goes below that, then you get to buy it at $5. If it goes above that, you get to keep the premium. Well, I guess regardless, you get to keep the premium. So gives you a little bit extra money. So it's something to kind of consider. So maybe over the weekend, if you don't know options, just researching selling calls and selling puts. I think that might be most advantageous to the general people that kind of watch this these videos. So with that said, hopefully everyone has a good weekend ahead of them. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. 2 things, take advantage of this promo because it gives you 8 free shares. Each share is valued up to $2,000. That is a kick-ass deal. And then aside from that, I did launch memberships with this YouTube channel. So if you like the NIO content, want to support the channel, you can definitely join as a member. Or if you want buy signals on stocks and options, there's also a tier for that as well. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.